Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sunday Morning Movement. My name is Imran Ghani, and this is BP Harmony. BP Harmony is a place, a resource, a community where one can find reprieve from the ups and downs of bipolar disorder. Today's yoga class is titled Yoga for Rapid Cycling. Now, what is rapid cycling? For someone with bipolar disorder or for someone without, there are many times in life that our cup is way beyond full. Our relationships are spread and we are feeling thin. We are, spread thin. We are having lack of sleep, poor diet. And so with someone with a bipolar diagnosis, this is a recipe for a state known as rapid cycling, where one goes quickly within a day, within a couple of hours, going from high levels of productivity to crashing low into depressive states. And then because the body is in such stress and there's such demands, it goes into flight or fight mode, and then it goes back up and down and up and down, and sometimes finding itself in a state of both at the same time, a mixed state where one is internally feeling anxious, feeling energized, feeling like they have to do stuff, but at the same time the body is tired, it feels lethargic, and it is giving the sign that one needs to stop. So in light of that, today's practice is going to be a practice of sitting still. I know it is titled Sunday Morning Movement, but rapid cycling spiritually is a state where the body is moving, but the heart isn't moving. Our internal state is moving. It's rapidly going from worried to scared to inspired to depressed, but it's so scattered that the body is kind of moving and without purpose, without efficiency, and draining lots and lots of energy. So my advice when one falls into a state of rapid cycling, and then even for someone that doesn't have a BP diagnosis, that they find themselves shifting rapidly from states of inspiration to lack of motivation within a very short period of time and going through this cycle, is to relax and to bring ourselves to a state of calmness, to a state that is centered. And it's difficult because when there are so many pressures to do things, it's difficult to take out time for 30 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, because the demand seems like, oh my goodness, I have to get this done right away. But without this moment of relaxation, without pause, without reflection, all of that activity simply is activity, and it is detrimental to our health, as well as making us quite inefficient in reaching our goals. So today, we are going to calm the body, bring a stillness to the heart. And once the heart becomes stilled, once the mind becomes stilled, then there becomes a clarity. There becomes a clear set of actions that need to be done. Rapid cycling is challenging because it's like a roller coaster ride, and that is because there is such a lack of control of the emotions going from one extreme to the other. So my method at BP Harmony, and even for myself when I was struggling through the acute phases of rapid cycling, was to calm myself down. Often I would go outdoors to get fresh air, to get sunlight. So if you're able to do so, open a window, look outside, get some fresh sunlight into the eyes. I did that before this practice, and it just feels fantastic in the morning to go outside immediately, get some fresh air, allow for sun to hit the pupils of our eyes. It does wonders to create a sense of calm. So go ahead and come into a state, a position that is comfortable for you. You can sit in easy pose. You can also lie down on your back and close your eyes. Feel where your body is making contact with the floor or the ground. In a state of rapid cycling, we are like leaves that have become detached from the tree, and we are flying wherever the wind blows. Where your body is connected to the ground, whether it be your sits bone or your back, imagine yourself rooting onto the ground, establishing roots, gaining a sense of stability, of grounding with the ground. Imagine yourself going deeper into the roots. So right now, my roots are planted into my couch. So I'm going to go deeper, and I'm going to go into the floor of my residence. And then I'm going to go deeper into the soil underneath the foundation of my residence. And there in the soil, I meet the animals, the organisms, and I begin to draw nutrients. I begin to draw energy from Mother Earth, from this beautiful creation that reacts with the light of the sun and provides all of the nutrients that we need to find stability, to find health, to find happiness. Now that we've become firmly rooted to the ground, notice a sense of stillness, a sense of strong foundation we have in the place that we're sitting. No longer fidgeting, no longer looking around, no longer feeling that a thought can come and blow us around, but we're still and we are firm in where we are. But this is our base. Our trunk is solid, but our branches and our trees, they still move through the vicissitudes, the ups and downs, and that's okay. But once we are firmly rooted, it prevents us from things going out of control. So now let's engage this interplay of being firmly rooted, but also allowing the wind to move our branches, Let's take our awareness to the breath. Let's straighten our spine, straighten the trunk, broaden our shoulders, and let our branches spread wide. Release tension in the neck and imagine that our head is floating on water. Take the awareness to the breath and simply breathe with the nose, letting air into the nostrils, and when exhaling, feeling the sensation against our nostrils. Go ahead and place one of your hands on your belly. And when you inhale, inflate the belly. And when you exhale, deflate the belly. Notice where the body is tense and simply observe. If you feel thoughts about the imagined future, or all sorts of imaginations about what should have, could have, would have happened in the past, that's okay. Let those thoughts wash over, not allowing them to spiral out of control, to come back to the breath. Go ahead and now take the deepest breath you've taken all day. Hold for 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and exhale slowly. Now just like that, take a deep inhale. Aspire to inhale for 5 seconds. Hold for 5 seconds. Exhale for 5 seconds. And hold for 5 seconds. If one is even able to do 5 seconds, you can inhale for 3, hold for 3, exhale for 3, hold for 3. Or whatever pace you're able to do comfortably, go ahead and do so. When sinking into the moment, how does one know when they've fallen into the meditative state? I was listening to Thich Nhat Hanh, the late Zen master of Buddhist meditation. And he said that one falls into the meditative state, one feels the tension from the body being let go. One feels the expansion of the breath, progressively being able to breathe deeper, feeling expansion in the chest. And a sense of joy, a sense of sweetness, of being in the present moment. Nowhere to go, nowhere else to be, except for here, in the now. For yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. That's why it's called the present. We've engaged the sense of touch. We've engaged the sense of smell with the breathing of the nostrils. Now let's take our awareness to the sensation of sound. Alan Watts says that the easiest way to fall into a meditative state, and in our particular context, when we're in a state of anxiety, state of going up and down, round and about, not able to become still, that to engage first the sense of sound. I've included music and sounds of nature in today's meditation to help us fall into that state of meditation. So we'll go ahead and, now that we are, more or less subconsciously still rooted to the ground, but it's okay to remind ourselves, and more or less subconsciously breathing deeper than we were at the start, we'll continue to do those things subconsciously, but now take our awareness to the sound. And I want to make it easy for you by inviting you to listen to the calming music, the sounds of the birds. But if you prefer not to listen to them, you can, at least for the next 10 minutes, put me on mute and listen to the sounds around you. Listen to the sound in your room. And then become curious and listen to the sounds outside of your room. Or if you're outside, listen to the sounds of the birds, of the cars passing by, of the rustling leaves blown by the wind. And breathe in the experience. Relax the jaw, relax the eyebrows, relax the shoulders, relax the stomach. What are the sounds that you hear? We hear these mundane sounds all the time. but consider paying attention to them, to the details. The sounds of music, the sounds of nature, they are teachers, beckoning for students to listen to their powerful wisdom. Simply open ourselves to the sounds of Mother Earth and feel the sensation of love, feel the sensation of calm. And should you feel stable enough to engage these sounds, to engage your feelings with the signs of nature. And it doesn't matter what the source of these sounds are. It doesn't matter what the belief that you have behind the sounds, whether or not they have a creator. If you have a faith-based view of the world, then this is an opportunity, a way that many spiritual traditions invite practitioners to connect with the divine by engaging with the creation. For it is through the creation we come to know the Creator. But if that's emotionally triggering, if that's difficult right now because of just the immense amount of suffering one is going through, know that the tool of listening to creation is still there, without having to acknowledge anything past that. And being merciful with ourselves. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Now I know I said that there was going to be not so much movement today, but if you feel called to do so, because I feel called to do so right now, just to reach my right hand up into the sky. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Inhale, left hand. Exhale. Inhale, both of my hands up. And exhale. Now keep my hands in between my face, right in front of me. I'm going to bring my hands together. Feel the sensation of your palms touching each other. Your palms have far more neurons than other parts of the body, so they're highly sensitive. Go ahead and press harder to move faster. Listen to the sound. Feel the sensation of heat generating. And slow down. And now bring your hands apart and notice that the sensation remains in the palms. And maybe, just maybe, you feel that heat, that friction in between the space of your palms. See if you can maintain that sense, that feeling of energy in between the palms, and broaden the hands. Take a deep inhale, filling the belly, expanding the diaphragm, and exhale. Bring the hands closer. Bring the palms together. We've engaged the sense of touch, of smell, of sound, and now we will engage the sensation of taste. So go ahead and notice that there has been a flavor in your mouth this whole time. Maybe because it's the morning, you have morning breath, or you brushed your teeth and there's a minty flavor. Or maybe you had breakfast and the flavor of your oatmeal or your pancakes, cereal, eggs is there in your mouth. And to go ahead and swallow. Take your awareness to the tongue. Bring the tip of your tongue above your lips inside and start to make circles. Continue to breathe. You'll notice all of the muscles activate in the throat. There's no need to go fast, but simply engage the taste buds. There's definitely something happening in my throat as I'm thinking about the tongue and this passageway. And once you're back to the top of your lip, inner lip, go ahead and rotate the other way this time. And continue to breathe. This tongue exercise is excellent for speech therapy, especially working with clients with neurological disorders that impact speech. This is a great way to exercise the muscles of the tongue. And for someone with BP, it's a great way to anchor the mind to the sensations of the tongue, because the tongue also has a lot of neurons. And so just bringing the awareness to simply focused on one thing. The difficult part about hypomania or mania is that we're feeling way too much, from the smells to the sounds to the sights. And so that's why I'm having us anchor ourselves into one sensation. Giving undivided attention to one thing and one thing only. If your tongue is tired, that's okay. You can rest and simply take a nice big swallow, and to look up and to look down. To look up, to look down. To turn the neck counterclockwise as I am. And to look up, and if you cough, that's okay. This movement is fantastic for the thyroid. The thyroid, especially in the rapid cycling for a lot of people, just goes into overdrive. This is a gateway to create some movement, some relaxation around the thyroid gland right here. And once you make it down in front, to go ahead and switch the direction of the rotation. And there will be parts of the neck that are more tight than others. Once you identify them, kind of allow them space to talk. Allow them space to open up. And stay there. Or go a little bit back and forth as I am in the area. And allow space to open up. All the while continuing to breathe. Lastly, we will take our awareness to the sight, to the vision. And today, I want you to invite you to take your attention to a mundane object in your vista. It could be a tree, it could be a plant, a ball, a book, a lamp, a tennis racket, a bag of bird seeds, a rock, anything that you seem to be gravitated towards, and to fixate the vision onto that one object. I have a rock sitting in my display in front of me, and I'm going to look at it with curiosity and pay attention to the color, to the details of its texture, the jagged edges, the small pieces of discoloration and dirt. One of the things about rapid cycling is, of course, not being focused on one particular thing with the eyesight as well, jumping from one thing to another. So this is again another technique for breaking that cycle and fixating ourselves on one thing and one thing alone. What stories has this object seen sitting in one place for maybe a day, a week? Maybe it's been sitting in my room for years. Or if you're outside, this object, how many seasons has it seen? How many rainy days? How many cold days? How many blistering hot days? But how many easy days as well? The days of cool temperatures, warm sunshine, clean air. Actually, the rock that I've been looking at, I remember now that I got it from my family trip in Canada. Let's go ahead now and close our eyes. Let's go ahead and begin with this feeling of sensation, rooting ourselves deeply into the earth. To feel the sensation, the smells of the air about us. To listen to the sounds around us. To taste the flavors in our mouth. To notice the colors in front of our closed eyelids. The black, the orange, the green, the blue, brown. Realize and feel a sense of jubilation that if we were in a state of rapidly cycling vacillating between states of anxiety, depression, everything in between, to feel a sense of progress, to feel a sense of some kind of change that has occurred in the last 40 minutes. And in addition to that sense of jubilation, to also feel to give ourselves mercy and forgiveness for not achieving what maybe we expected. This past week, I had several goals that were unmet. Why? Because I got a little sick, and so my body needed rest. My body needed some mercy, and my body needed some time to recover. I feel a sense of jubilation for the things that I completed, but to feel a sense of mercy for myself for the things that I did not complete. Being merciful with ourselves helps us to be merciful to others. And for those who have a faith-based background, we have a teaching in the Islamic tradition where it says, Irhamu man fil ard yarhamkum man fis sama, that be merciful to those around you, and the one in the heavens will be merciful to you. So it's a reflexive thing, this mercy. Being merciful with our Creator, with ourselves, and with others. But even if we aren't able to be merciful, kind, compassionate to those around us because of the incredible suffering that we're going through, that's okay. One of the biggest things that those with bipolar, experience is a sense of guilt, not being able to be kind, be the way they used to be, because suffering brings out the worst in us. And so I hope you are able to make this space with your family, with your colleagues, with your friends, for mercy as well, and to ask them that I'm not myself right now, to give me some space to maybe not be my best, but know that I'm working on it. Know that regardless of how many times I falter, that I'm working towards recovery, and I believe that I can be myself again and be in a place of recovery. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for joining me in today's Sunday morning movement. Today's practice was called Yoga for Rapid Cycling, and the summary, the crux of the idea is that of the teaching today is that when we find ourselves in a state of rapidly cycling in between mania, depression, and everything in between, to come to a state of meditation, to listen to a guided meditation that helps us anchor ourselves, to find a sense of calm, to find a sense of stability and centering. Well, thank you so much for those who joined me live and those who watched the recording. I hope you benefit. This week, later today, I'll be recording a class at the studio that I've partnered with. And so I'm excited to share this with you all. And if you would like to engage with me, I'll also be launching a blog next month in 2 weeks. I wrote the first blog yesterday. It's called 7 Journal Entries for People Struggling with Bipolar Disorder. So I look forward to releasing that blog and engaging with you all further. And so stay tuned. Check me out on Instagram, BP Harmony, and to visit my website, bpharmony.com. And if you are struggling with bipolar disorder, know that things can get better. Recovery is possible. And if you have someone in your life who's struggling with it, know that there's help out there. Creating a team of a medical professional, a therapist, and a mental health coach like myself that is holistically trained. Recovery is possible. I was once in a place where I was on several medications and I thought I couldn't live a full life again. I'm living example that you can come off of medication and you can live fully again. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next week.